Good evening. This is the City of Woodstock Committee of Adjustment meeting for March the 14th. All the committee members are here. Does any of the committee members have a declaration of conflict of interest? Seeing none, do we have, has everybody read the minutes of the meeting from the previous meeting? And do we have anybody to make a nomination to approve the meetings? Moved by William Bess, seconded Peter. All in favor? Carried. I don't see any correspondence. There's no correspondence from the concerning the committee. So what we'll do is head to the application. There are two applications tonight. Michael McDonald at 499 Canterbury Street and Mark Burke from 18 Winnett Street. So I'll ask the senior planner, Andrea, to make her report on the first application of 499 Canterbury Street.
Thank you. So the first application tonight is an application for minor variance. And as Mr. Pye pointed out, it's for lands located at 499 Canterbury Street. The applicant is proposing three types of relief. The one is to reduce the required interior side yard width, and that's from 3 meters to 1.9 meters. And that is for, oh, here's the aerial. So that's for the addition that was built on the side of the house. They're also looking for a boulevard parking agreement or encroachment agreement. And so they need relief from the bylaw to allow them to pursue that as well. Just typically because parking boulevard encroachment agreements are only permitted in areas within Schedule D in the zoning bylaw and outside of Schedule D. So they're asking for relief from that provision as well. And basically that would allow them to park in front of the addition that was constructed. And that would allow them to provide the 2 parking spaces that are required for a single detached dwelling. And then the third item of relief that they're requesting is to reduce the required front yard depth from 3 meters to 2.7 meters for a front porch that was also recently constructed. So as I just said, it just for the committee's information, both the addition and the front porch were previously constructed without the benefit of a building permit. This application, it was an application actually for minor variance, but it just addressed the interior side yard relief. That already came to the committee back in July of 2021, and staff requested that the application be deferred at the time so that we could get an as-built survey so we could see what other relief was required, and then what the actual relief would be, like the dimensions, what they would need to be. And so we're bringing the application back, and as I pointed out, we've identified 2 other matters that need relief which need relief as well. So the application was circulated, staff were satisfied, city building staff were satisfied with the request for relief. They feel that the relief will still be able to accommodate the required parking on the site. And then also that the front yard depth relief will not interfere with traffic on Canterbury or road maintenance on Canterbury. As you can see, there's a significant setback between the sidewalk and the lot line, and so staff were satisfied also that if the encroachment agreement relief was supported, that easily we could accommodate, or that the applicant could accommodate 2 parking spaces on the site. The lands are zoned R2, so it permits single detached and semi-detached as well as duplexes on the subject land. So the use is in keeping with the zoning. The lands are designated low density residential. Also, the use being in keeping with the official plan policies. As I indicated, we're supportive of the relief. We feel that also the decreased interior side yard width can still allow for adequate space for drainage as well as access around the building to maintain the building. And we don't feel, and it's already demonstrated, both the front porch and the addition, not to have a negative impact on neighboring properties or Canterbury Street. That said, the applicant should also be aware that building permit will be required for both the front porch as well as the addition if the requests for relief are granted by the committee. So in light of our review, we are satisfied with this application. We recommend that the application be approved.
Thank you, Andrea. Is there anybody online, Michael McDonald or anybody representing the applicant? That being said, is there anybody online that would like to speak in favor of the application? Nobody? Is there anybody online that would like to speak against the application? None? That being said, it goes to the committee for a motion or to deal with it. Does anybody want to move by Peter Rigby? Seconded by Glenn, that we accept the application as presented. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. The proceeding to the second application, it's 18 Winnett Street, represented by Mark Burke, and I believe Mark's online. Good. Okay, Andrea, we're ready if you'd like to present your findings.
Thank you. So this application for minor variance is to support the construction of a duplex on the subject property, and the applicant is requesting relief from the minimum lot frontage from 18 meters to 16.9 meters for a duplex. And so the subject property, as Mr. Pye pointed out, is at 18 Winnett Street. The applicant has indicated that there's currently a duplex on the subject property, which is proposed to be removed and then replaced with a new duplex on the property. The property is 830 square meters. And in addition to the dwellings on the property, there's a detached garage as well as a shed. And so I should point out that the detached garage is also being proposed to be removed if this application is approved. So the application was circulated to a number of agencies. The building department indicated that they are satisfied with the proposal. They are satisfied that 4 parking spaces can be accommodated on the site, which is the requirement under the bylaw for a duplex. The property is zoned low density residential, and it's zoned residential zone 2, which permits duplexes. And just as a refresher for the committee, the minimum lot frontage requirement is intended to make sure that the property is wide enough generally to accommodate the building envelope and then the required setbacks, as well as adequate parking, landscaping, drainage, and amenity space. In this case, the request to reduce the minimum frontage is again from 18 meters to 16.9 meters. We feel that that's a minor request and it will accommodate 2 units on the site. We are supportive of the application based on the fact that adequate space is still being provided for off-street parking, landscaping, drainage, and amenity space. So in light of that, we would recommend that this application be approved.
Thank you, Andrea. Mark, you've received a positive report. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention?
Just here to answer any questions. Good to see everyone. Thank you.
Does any of the committee have a question for Mark? None. That being said, is there anybody else in a position that wants to speak in favor of the application online? None. Is there anybody online that wishes to speak against the application? None. So I turn it over to the committee for a recommendation or a none. Moved by William Best. Is there a seconder? Seconder by Jennifer. All those in favor? Carried. As you're well aware, Mark, is a 20-day waiting period or 20-day waiting period. So
Very good. Thank you, everyone.
that concludes the two applications. Is there any other general business that we need to discuss tonight? That being said, I need a motion for adjournment. Moved by Bob, seconded by Jennifer. All those in favor?